These are the worst running back picks in 2023 fantasy football. In 2021, I drafted Miles Sanders and traded for Clyde Edwards-Helaire during the season, and I thought I was getting a pair of top 15 running backs. But because of the hype that was surrounding both of those players during the offseason, I ignored some pretty massive warning signs before the season. And there are major warning signs with these three running backs, and you'll find out why. So the first running back on the list is Rashad White of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. He is going as the running back 26 right now in Underdog. So there's lots of reasons why there's a lot of optimism for Rashad White. First of all, Rashad White is coming into the season, into his second season after being a rookie pick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's also a pass-catching back who has great pass-catching upside and is looking to be the #1 running back in Tampa Bay without Leonard Fournette. Even with this, I have very strong opinions why Rashad White is a terrible pick this year that boil down to two reasons. Aside from Josh Jacobs last year, there were no other teams who were in the bottom 7 of NFL record-wise that had a top 20 running back in fantasy football. Tampa Bay is projected to be a bottom 5 or 7 team coming into 2023, and their decline just cannot be overstated. There are only two things that could save White and help him crack the top 20. A good quarterback and a good offensive line. And this leads me to his second problem. First of all, we know he doesn't have a good quarterback. Baker Mayfield is coming into the season looking to be the starting quarterback. And if not him, then it's Kyle Trask. Either way you go, your quarterback is not going to be good. But his offensive line is lining up to be one of the worst in the NFL in 2023. According to Pro Football Network, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming into 2023 with the number 27 offensive line. That is awful. And this could be a reason why he only racked up 3.7 yards per carry in 2022. Rashad White really doesn't have a saving grace here. Moving on to our next running back on the list, it is DeAndre Swift of the Philadelphia Eagles. He is going as the running back 23 on Underdog. Now listen, there have been very strong supporters for DeAndre Swift since day one, since the day he was drafted, man. And I get it. The talent is evident. Nobody doubts that he has tremendous talent and athleticism. That is absolutely there in his game. Detroit never wanted to use him as a 3-down back, and as you can see on the screen right there, the numbers back it up. He just doesn't have that many carries in a season throughout his entire NFL career. Now he gets traded to Philadelphia, and now he's got the best offensive line in 2023, according to Pro Football Network. So why is he a bad draft pick? Two reasons why. His pass catching upside is undeniable. You can see it on the screen right here. It is ridiculous how good of a pass catching back he is. He reaped the rewards of playing with Jared Goff and getting all those dump offs that those traditional pocket passers always do. And this leads me to problem number 1. You know the phrase, you can't fit a square peg in a round hole? Well, this applies to DeAndre Swift's situation so much in Philadelphia. As I said on the screen, DeAndre Swift is a tremendous pass-catching running back. What's interesting is that Miles Sanders, former Philadelphia Eagles running back, was at one time a very good pass-catching running back too. But for some reason, his total targets dropped a whopping 34% between 2022 and 2021. And he actually dropped even 8 more targets in 2022 in more games played than 2021. So what happened here? Well, 2021 was the year that Philadelphia switched from Carson Wentz to Jalen Hurts. Now, what did 2019, 2020 Miles Sanders and DeAndre Swift both have in common? They both had more traditional pocket passers as quarterbacks, leading to more dump-offs for the running back out of the backfield. Obviously, guys, Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Jared Goff and Carson Wentz. Nobody's denying that. But the problem with running quarterbacks is that running quarterbacks, when they have pressure in their face and they face crisis from the defensive lineman or an edge rusher, their first instinct is to run. It is not to check the ball down to their running back out of the backfield and just to get the ball out of their own hands. Their first instinct is to take off and run and either buy themselves some time to throw down the field or just to take off and run entirely. This is going to hurt and cap DeAndre Swift's upside as a pass-catching running back, and it is not going to be minuscule. It is going to be a significant impact. And this leads me to the second reason. As you can see on the screen right now, Swift is not a 200 carry type of guy. The most carries he's had in one NFL season was 151 carries in 2021. So even if Philadelphia plans to go into the season with DeAndre Swift as their running back 1, he hasn't ever shown to be that guy. This is likely because out of the 22 running backs that handled at least 200 carries in 2022, there were only 4 running backs on that list that were under 5'10". Historically, running backs that are that small just do not provide enough carries to give you top fantasy upside without having the pass catching involved as well. And that's a major problem for DeAndre Swift as well, and we already discussed why. Moving on to the next running back on the list, it is Bijan Robinson of the Atlanta Falcons, man. He is the running back 3 on Underdog right now. There's obviously going to be some controversy with this stance right here. This one has nothing to do with the player that Bijan Robinson is. We're talking about the best running back prospect out of college since Saquon Barkley. He is tremendous in every aspect. Running the ball, catching the ball, breaking tackles, breakaway runs, vision, excellent at every single thing possible for a running back, and that's what makes him a tremendous running back prospect. He's also on an offense that was number 1 in rush attempts in 2022. And he has a top 4 offensive line heading into 2023. How on earth could Bijan Robinson be one of the worst running back picks in 2023 drafts? We need to remember the underdog format, guys. When you were looking at the underdog format, you were looking at a 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 3 wide receiver, 1 flex, and 1 tight end type of format. So that type of format you're playing in fantasy football amplifies the importance of wide receivers. And to prove how important wide receivers are in drafts, there are 14 wide receivers going inside the top 23 picks in underdog drafts right now. So what that tells us is that we need to get a wide receiver early and often. You need to be drafting 2 wide receivers in the first 2 rounds, man. And Bijan is currently ranked as the number 10 overall player in ADP off the board in underdog, and he is the running back 3 off the board. Now, I have no problem with him being the running back 3. He's actually my running back 2 in my running back rankings for 2023. But if you pick Bijan in the first round, understand this. The best you can do in your drafts is walk away with Chris Olave and DK Metcalf as your top 2 wide receivers. The only possible way that you can get another wide receiver better is maybe T. Higgins falls to you, but as of now, it looks like based on ADP, you're going to end up with DK Metcalf as your wide receiver 2. And then you need to fill your wide receivers later on in the draft. Look at the running back values in rounds 6 to 7 compared to the wide receiver values. In the running back category, you can see you're getting guys like Alexander Madison, Miles Sanders, Dameon Pierce, all in this range of round 6 to 7, whereas in wide receivers, you are not getting close to that value. You're getting the wide receivers 30 and down in that category. The running back values later in drafts are just so much better. He is just not worth his draft price in this format. And if you want to know which late round running backs have top 10 upside as well, but you can get them at a much better price, click on this video right here.